Welcome to the Baku City Circuit, where free practice for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is about to get underway. This is a technical circuit which will nonetheless see some huge speeds with a near flat-out final sector that's twice the length of Shanghai's back straight. Let's see who can find the right balance in their setup today. A warm welcome once again to the man standing beside me in the commentary box for this session, Anthony Davidson. Hello, Ant. Excited to get underway?
Yeah, absolutely. I always look forward to seeing the cars get out there on track. And they probably won't be on the limit immediately, of course. We know that one or two of the teams are looking to do some work on new aerodynamic packages, so that always takes some time to get into. But it'll be really interesting to see later on in the session what kind of performance gains are there to be found.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to career mode. Here today for round number 4 at Azerbaijan. Coming into this, confidence levels were not super high, not gonna lie. Baku, it's a bit of a weird track, and coming into this in a racing point, which, while it does have a really good engine, but not real good aero or chassis, which is really what you need around this racetrack. But we got through all of the practice programs reasonably well, apart from tyre wear. I think we actually couldn't get that at all. A bit of a weird moment here during practice as well. I think that was a Williams, maybe George Russell. I think he had a front wing missing there, so that was a bit weird to see. You don't see that in practice normally, but running through all of the programs, and that is the perfect way to do qualifying pace. No. Anyway, quick flashback later and we come across the line. We were not quick enough. Qualifying pace times around here, I'm not going to lie, was super quick. Like, it was ridiculous to try and be. I was going hell for leather. A bit over aggressive again right there in the turn 1, so we crashed and lost the wheel for the second time. But on the next attempt we come around and we get the green target time. Frankly, that was good enough. I wasn't going to try and get purple. I had to find like another 7 tenths, and there was just not 7 tenths in that lap. There was no way. But we went out again for race strategy in practice 2. I just decided to save that till last. But yeah, a little moment again, definitely pushing the boundaries, just trying to find where the limits of this racing point are, and yeah, just trying to find the limits but not overstep the mark. As you can see, we've done that quite a bit so far, so hopefully that's all the mistakes done and dusted out of the way. Sergio right up there in P3, right behind the Ferraris as well, so our teammate looking like he has got some pretty good pace around this racetrack, so hopefully it might be a good weekend for the Racing Point drivers. Might be able to come away with a double points finish maybe, but yeah, we'll wait and see and hope for a good one. But practice fairly swimmingly, as I said. Got a reasonable haul of resource points throughout 2 sessions, so that's always a good start. But dry weekend, no rain. Can't even speak English anymore. No rain for qualifying or the race, which is nice. I was hoping it wouldn't, but without further ado, let's go to qualifying and see how we do.
Welcome to qualifying in the Republic of Azerbaijan. The teams are making their last-minute adjustments before the lights go green, and the fight for pole position can get underway. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily. It's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way, however. Track position or unexpected yellow flags, for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
Alright, welcome guys to qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Gonna go out right at the start of the session, set a time. Hopefully it might be good enough to maybe squeak us out. come across the line and we go provisionally in P2. That was actually a big surprise. I was expecting to be in the midfield. We cut to the end of the session and that was actually good enough to get us through in P8. Perez up in P5, so once again still being outdone by the Mexican, so I don't know, hopefully we might be able to squeak through to Q3, and if he does then we might be able to show him up there hopefully, but we'll try. We haven't had much luck at the moment, but coming across the line now at the end of Q2, or not quite at the end, we go P6, just ahead of Max Verstappen, and once again right behind Sergio Perez. We cannot beat the Mexican. Oh, jeez, we just can't beat him, lads. We just can't. that was a really good lap, and it wasn't enough. But anyway, here's the final part here in Q3. We're going out right at the end of the session. We're going to be one of the last cars to cross the line. Might be getting a bit of a slipstream here from the car in front of us as well. It's not going to be a big one, but hopefully it might just make us a little bit quicker. Hopefully we can beat Sergio. I think the goal is actually qualifying P7 or higher, so I don't know whether we can manage that, but up to the line. Where is this lap going to put us?
Good work.
P9. So pretty good. Could have definitely improved. There was one or two little mistakes, little brake locks throughout that lap. Perez up in P5. So really he's showing us up big time in qualifying at the moment, showing us what can be done with the car when we completely hook up a lap properly. But P5 and P9, that's pretty good. Hopefully Perez doesn't have any grid penalties. We don't, obviously, but that was qualifying. So without further ado, let's go to the race, and hopefully more points are on the table.
Well done. Very solid results. You're looking good for the race.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to talk to you about Valtteri Bottas. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Perez, Max Verstappen and Gasly, Weber, Lee, Raikkonen and Roman Grosjean, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Devon Butler and Bottas. They've taken a grid penalty. Norris, Kvyat, Alexander Albon and Antonio Giovinazzi. Russell and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
We will definitely try and do that, boss. Welcome, guys, to the grid of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for career mode. Dry race all the way, thankfully, so we didn't have to worry about rain. Can you imagine that if we were driving around this place in heavy rain? Oh my god. That would be utterly horrendous. It's bad enough in the dry half the time, but running through the strategy now, I think it's going to be one stop, soft to hards. Hopefully we can make that work. I think we should be able to. If not, we'll convert to something else when we need to, but coming into this, as I said, I was confident of a points result, but not really a top 5 or anything like that. I I was probably expecting maybe like right where I am, kind of a P8, P9-ish kind of result. So, I don't know, we'll do what we can and hope for the best, and yeah, we'll see what we can come away with. There was a grid penalty implied as well, so Perez is actually up to 4th now, and we are actually promoted up to P8, so that's pretty cool. But here we go then. Awaiting 5 red lights here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, round number 4 of this career mode, and away we go. Looks like a pretty decent start. We got to fend off the Alfa Romeo behind us, up the inside of Lucas into turn 1, side by side with the Renault, but he hangs on. Are we going to look to try and go back up the inside into turn 2? No, there was room, but we decided against it, just slotting behind him. Get a good run. We got Raikkonen right behind us, so hopefully we can fend off the Alfa Romeo, and we were able to. Coming on to lap 2 now, through the castle, and we're up in P8 at the moment. Raikkonen still behind us. Big slide, loss of the back end, something dreadful coming out of that castle section, and that allows the Kimster to just drive right around us. But on the longest straight in the world history of motorsport, whatever you want to say, but this honestly feels like it goes on forever. But we're getting the move done. That's back past Raikkonen now. We're back up into P8, so hopefully we might be able to chase after Lucas Weber now and a couple of others. Cutting up to lap 6, we were able to catch back up to Weber, but we're coming into the pits now for our one and only scheduled pit stop of the race. Hard compound tyres, they should easily take us to the end. As long as there's no dramas, we don't run over anything or we don't get damaged, it should be a fairly straightforward run to the flag by now. But 2.6 stop from the boys, pretty happy, pretty decent. As you see, Kvyat going side by side with the Williams, so we actually drop right to the back in dead last now, so we've got a little bit of work to do. We haven't come out in real clean air like I was hoping to do, but hopefully we'll be able to get past some of these guys quickly. Got a real good run on Kvyat right. Oh my goodness, that's close. Side by side, we go up the inside, warning for a collision. Okay, well, probably was our fault, I guess, but we get the move done through the castle. That's up to P19 now. And that was a bloody daring move, like Jesus. But cutting up to the end of lap 7 now, going up the inside of Toro Rosso, almost up the inside of Robert Kubica as well. I think that was Alex Albon trying to overtake the Williams, and as a result he actually drops back behind us, following Kubica now onto the long front straight, and we should blast past the Williams, and we do. Engine's overheating a little bit, so we've got to keep an eye on that as well. It's pretty tricky, I found, to actually keep that under control. To the end, or to the start of lap 9, I beg your pardon, we're now following the Red Bull of Pierre Gasly as he comes out of the pits, and as you can see, Valtteri Bottas right behind us, so undercutting these guys that were ahead of us by about 2-3 laps has actually worked off swimmingly around the outside of the Frenchman. So now we're ahead of Gasly and Bottas. Next up is George Russell here on the end of lap 9, coming on to lap 10. And at this point I'm actually thinking, so if I'm ahead of Bottas and Gasly, who were a fair way up the road, where do we actually stand? Because at this point I was scratching my head. I had no idea where I actually was in the provisional order, or in the corrected order. But anyway, Devon Butler now ahead of us in the McLaren. He mounts that curb. We try the over and under. Up the inside, DRS, hot lap, now into overtake, rich fuel mixture, and we should get the move done. Yes, we do. That's up in the P11. To the end of lap 10 now, following Antonio Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeo. This is for P10, final points paying position. Thank you very much, and there we go. Back up into the points. 16 laps to go. Cars feels pretty good, not going to lie. So hopefully we can have a smooth run to the end. To lap 14, George Russell is out of the race now. Cut back and have a look. No smoke, so maybe hydraulic or gearbox failure related, but yeah, undoubtedly he won't be too impressed with that. And Sergio is now out of the session. Bottas coming up our inside as well. And there he is, down the escape road, right where George Russell was, so a nightmare now. We were really looking good for a double points haul, but a mechanical issue of some description has forced Sergio to park it in the escape road. Onto the front straight now, onto the start of lap 16. We blast past Bottas again with DRS. I got a feeling this is going to become maybe a bit of a trait at this racetrack in career mode. It's just going to be an absolute slipstream train, a bit like Monza in a way. But on to lap 17 now. We've actually caught up to Sebastian Vettel. I think he was actually battling with that Red Bull, and Seb's actually got damage right now. As we, oh my god, that's close. We're almost in the wall. I think Seb was actually in the wall there for a moment. That was extremely close. Max Verstappen now ahead of us in P3. So we could be on for a podium this race. Like that is it right there. And we come on to lap 19. 7 laps to go. We're within the DRS. Here we go. This is for the podium. Past Max Verstappen, and we get up into P3. Personal best lap of the race. 6 laps to go now. So this is really just going to be about trying to hold off the Dutchman now and trying to hang on to what would be a miracle podium again. On to the final lap of the race now. Bottas has actually got up into P4. Lewis Hamilton wins the race for Mercedes. So he will be over the moon about that, no doubt. As we cut on board with him now up the line. Another win for the British driver. So his season has started off basically in the best way it could. Another W for Lewis Hamilton, so he'll be very happy about that. So as we cut back on board to our POV now, Bottas is parked right under our rear wing. He's going to get slipstream, but we do have a really good engine. Our engine is actually better than the Mercedes, so can we hold him off? We're coming up to the line. He's in our slipstream with DRS. I think we're just going to hold him off up the line. Yes, we do. Get in.
Good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
So there we go, guys. That has been round number 4 of our career mode here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Once again, somehow we have come away with a podium, a result that the Racing Point really shouldn't be getting, but somehow we are able to just keep dragging these miracle results out of this midfield car. So once again, really solid weekend, really happy. So let's go and talk to Claire.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
What was the strategy? Well, just drove the wheels off it and hope for the best, I guess.
It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it?
I think we definitely are exceeding everyone's expectations, especially the team, and my own expectations, if I'm brutally honest.
It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it?
I don't know what to say about that. I thought it was fine.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
Probably just misjudged a couple of corners. But everyone makes mistakes.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, thank you very much, Claire, for being a bit of a pain in the backside like you always are. But you've got to have someone to do it, I suppose. But anyway. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for plenty more. I can't believe how well the channel's actually done in such a short time. We're nearly at 100 subscribers already, so thank you very much. Really good weekend, another podium, so what a start to the season we're having.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract reviews. On to the next one.
Alright, and speaking of contract reviews, looks like we have a contract negotiation available. First one of the season, so let's go and have a look, shall we?
It's time for us to renegotiate your contract. Here you can see the current deal. Once negotiations begin, the team will make you an offer. You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms.
Alright, we will try and push for better terms. No promises we'll probably get any, but I want to be first driver. We're going to go really aggressive here on this first attempt. Just see if we can somehow maybe get away with something, but we'll see. Attempt number 1.
We're asking for too much here. We need to make some compromises.
Okay, we'll change a few things. Let's try again.
They aren't coming round to that proposal. Let's try something else.
Alright, final attempt. Will you accept this time?
I'm afraid negotiations have broken down, and there's nothing more I can do. Luckily, we had the team's original offer to fall back on, so we've agreed to those terms. We'll have another chance to negotiate down the road.
Alright, so that was a bit of a bust, wasn't it? We were a bit too eager to maybe get some more perks and whatnot, but we got the original offer to fall back on, and there's nothing wrong with that really, so that's still a pretty good setup, I think. With a reasonable chunk of resource points, we've gone and purchased a major chassis weight reduction upgrade, so hopefully that'll go on the car next time. But thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you enjoyed, remember, leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for plenty more. And until the next episode, I'll catch you guys next time.